everyone. Today we are going to start geography part of standard 10. Chapter 8 to 14 are geography chapters. From that, the first chapter of geography, chapter number 8, natural resources, we are going to learn today. The weightage of this chapter is 3 marks. Resources. What is the meaning of resources? That we are going to see in the introduction. Now, resources are of two types. First one is natural and second one is man-made. So in this chapter, we are going to see about natural resources. Human needs can be satisfied partially or completely through resources. Human needs means all our requirements are fulfilled by resources. Thousands of natural elements are available, but all elements are not resources for us. Then, which kind of elements can be called resources? So here, in this introduction of the chapter, the definition of resources is given. When these elements are utilized by man through his special knowledge and expertise. In other words, the things on which the man is dependent, human needs can be fulfilled and man has the physical and intellectual capacity to utilize them. That can be called resources. Means when elements are used by man by using his intellectuality through which man can fulfill his requirements, needs as well as when man has both physical and mental or intellectual capacity to use them. These kind of elements can be considered as resources. To clarify this concept, one example is also given here. In ancient times, men did not know about the minerals buried within the land. Means minerals were available during that time also. But the primitive ancient men did not know about that element. So minerals cannot be called resource for ancient men. But today, these minerals are extremely useful due to their utility and the developed techniques of mining. So, because of technical development for us, it is possible to get minerals and use it differently. So, minerals can be called resources for all of us, but not for the ancient men. The natural resources should have both the virtues of utility and capability to work. Means काम में आ सके और काम कर सके. कौन? तो एलिमेंट जो भी नेचुरल एलिमेंट्स है उसमें दो वर्च्यूज होने चाहिए. फर्स्ट वन वो काम में आ सके और सेकंड वन काम कर सके. The resources are made up of interactions of three: nature, man, and culture. If any one is missing, then resource is not made. अगर इनमें से एक भी मिसिंग है तो वो एलिमेंट रिसोर्स नहीं कहलाता. Our next topic is uses of resources. Resources are useful in different ways. We learn about its role gradually at every stage of human life. Means, with the passing of the time, definition of resources is changed. As man progresses, his needs are changed. Our all activities from agriculture to industries. In all these activities, we need resources and we depend to fulfill our requirements. We depend on nature. Let's learn something more about uses of resources. The first one is resource as food. Various food requirements of man are complied by various resources. Are complied by means are satisfied by various resources. Fruits grown naturally. Various crops obtained through agriculture. Milk and its products and meat obtained through domestic animals. Fish and other aquatic animals from reservoirs. Honey prepared by honeybees, etc. So requirement of food of all human beings are fulfilled and satisfied by nature. ये सब फूड आइटम्स, ये सभी चीजें हमें कहाँ से मिलती है? हमें नेचर से ही मिलती है. Now the next one, resource as a source of raw material. Various goods obtained from forest, agro products, wool, hides. Hides means skin of animals and meat available from animals, mineral ores, etc. From the raw material for many industries. Means we are getting all manufactured products from the market, but to produce all these products, raw materials are needed, which are provided by nature. For example, to make furniture, wood is the raw material which is available in forest. The same way, we buy new clothes. But to manufacture this cloth, cotton textile industries need cotton as raw material. तो वो रॉ मटेरियल कॉटन कहाँ से आता है? वो हमें नेचर से मिलता है. सो इन शॉर्ट, टू मैन्युफैक्चर एंड टू प्रोड्यूस एनी प्रोडक्ट, all industries need raw material which is provided by nature. Now the next one and the last one, resources as energy resources. We use coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. as fuel in industries as well as domestic fuel. Besides, energy can be generated through solar insolation, wind, sea waves, tides and ebbs, and waterfalls, etc. It means different natural elements are given here, which we use for generating energy. Coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. are used in industries to run the machinery. Natural gas is used to cook the food. Petrol, diesel, etc. we are using in vehicles. On the other hand, solar insolation means solar energy. Wind, sea waves, tides and ebbs, waterfalls, etc. are used to generate the energy. And so it is said that resources are used as energy resources. Here, types of resources are given. Types of resources means classification of resources. Classification of resources are done on the basis of ownership, second one on the basis of reliability, and the third one on the basis of distribution centers. So all these resources are classified differently. Let us understand something more about ownership. In the first table, it is given individual resource. If anything is owned by any one person or family, then he can use it freely. He doesn't have to ask permission to anybody. For example, land, building, etc. Man can use it according to his wish and according to his need. Now the second one, national resource. It is owned by a country. Here in example it is given army and international trade. Means both are used for our country. Means army can be used for nation, and for international trade, for import and export, seaports, airports, etc. are used. It is owned by entire nation. Means ये पूरे देश के लिए यूज होते हैं, इसीलिए इसे नेशनल रिसोर्स कहते हैं. Now the third one is given global resource. Global resource means resources of common ownership of all nations of the world. जिस resources का ownership share होता है, जो कोई एक ही country का नहीं है. For example, गंगा रिवर, सिंधु रिवर, ये सारे रिवर का ओरिजिन होके इसका पानी जो भी कंट्री में जाता है, तो सब कंट्री उसका यूज करते हैं और शेयर करते हैं. And so it is said that all physical or non-physical resource which are used for human welfare is known as global resource. Next one is classification on the basis of distribution. In this table, the first one is given universal resources. Universal means available everywhere. For example, oxygen and nitrogen are useful and it is available everywhere, even on the other planets also. Only its proportion of availability is different. Second one is given generally available resource. Here we will talk about the earth. Land, soil, water, pasture land means grassland, which are easily available and easily seen everywhere on the earth. So they are called generally available resource. Third one, rare resources. Rare means uncommon resources, जो सभी जगह पर नहीं होते. Minerals like coal, petroleum, copper, gold, uranium, etc. are available at limited places. They are not available at all places on the earth, and so they are called rare resources. Fourth one, solitary resources. Solitary means lonely. क्रायोलाइट, एल्यूमिनियम को रिफाइन करने में इसका यूज किया जाता है. दूसरे भी कई सारी जगह पर इसका यूज होता है. दिस क्रायोलाइट is available only in Greenland, means in the whole world it is available only at one or two places, and so these kind of resources are called solitary resources. Now in the next para, renewable and non-renewable resources are given. Here the definition of renewable resources is given. Some resources reproduce themselves as per their usage during specific time. In other words, we can call it inexhaustible, means which are unlimited. They are not going to end after our usage. For example, Solar insolation means solar energy, wind, birds, animals, bioresources, etc. And so all these elements are also called renewable and inexhaustible resources. Non-renewable resources are those which cannot be reused and they cannot be reproduced in near future. Mineral, coal, natural gas, oil, petroleum, etc. are in limited proportion. If once it is going to end, we will not get it again easily because it takes thousands and thousands of years to reproduce. So here we finish the types and classification of resources. Now the next topic is planning and conservation of resources. Here in our textbook, instead of conservation, conversation is written. So please correct the spelling. First para, human needs are unlimited while the resources are limited. We all know that if we satisfy our one need, it increases and multiplies. But to fulfill all our needs, whatever resources we have, all those resources are very limited. During last 100 years, extraordinary development इन साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी मीन्स साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत ही ज्यादा डेवलपमेंट हुआ एंड पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन मीन्स पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीजेस रैपिडली. ये दोनों फैक्टर्स की वजह से रिसोर्सेज का यूसेज बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हुआ है. Very bad implications means circumstances our next generation will have to experience if awareness will not be brought in this matter. जिस तरह से हम सब लोग रिसोर्सेज का यूज करते हैं, अगर उसी प्रकार से चलता रहा तो हमारे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को ये सारे रिसोर्सेज और रिसोर्सेज की वजह से जो भी फैसिलिटीज क्रिएट की है वो सब नहीं मिल पाएगी. एंड सो इट इज सेड that it is our moral duty to use it rationally means judiciously means as per our need we should use that. मतलब जितनी जरूरत है उतना ही यूज करो, उसका वेस्ट मत करो. In the next para, the word conservation is directly related to the scarcity of resources. Means conservation की जरूरत कहाँ पर होती है? जहाँ पर scarcity मतलब कोई भी चीज जरूरत से कम होती है और हम उसका निर्माण नहीं कर पाते. I have explained you this in the first para also. As the words are used here, resources are exploited haphazardly and irrationally. Means बिना प्लानिंग जैसे मन किया वैसे अगर हम रिसोर्सेज यूज करते रहे तो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए ही नहीं बट फॉर अस आल्सो इट विल क्रिएट डिफिकल्टी. मीन्स वी शुड कंजर्व रिसोर्सेज टू मेंटेन द डेवलपमेंट एंड द करंट लाइफस्टाइल. इट इंक्लूड्स थिंग्स लाइक इट्स rational usage, its conservation and reusage. जहां पर हमारी लाइफ के एग्जिस्टेंस में डेंजर या खतरा नजर आता है तो हमें प्लानिंग और प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट करना पड़ता है जिसे हम कंजर्वेशन कहते हैं. Understand about planning and conservation of resources. First of all, gather about the availability of utilized, unutilized, and probable resources of any region or a country as a unit. Means to survey the resources of a region to understand which resources are utilized, which are unutilized, and which are potential resource. Means which elements have the possibility of generating energy. The second one, the resources which are limited or non-renewable. These should be exploited scientifically and should be used only where it is necessary to use them. Means classify the resources whether they are renewable or non-renewable. And for non-renewable, we should use them only if necessary and reduce the wastage of all those non-renewable resources. Third one, attempts should be made to develop those resources, the quantity of which can be increased. Means we should try to develop alternative resources which can be available easily. Fourth one, those resources are easily available and cheaper. We should use it properly and reduce wastage of those resources. And this way we can use sparingly, means judiciously, for our better future. Point, it is said that those resources are limited and non-renewable, we should conserve it, means save it, through any alternate use or through any technical development. Sixth point, for the conservation of resources, public awareness should be brought and strict rules and laws should be enforced and implemented. In the seventh point, it is said that citizen should be well acquainted, means well familiar, with all the facts regarding availability of resources and its conservation. All these are the steps to conserve our resources and we should follow it.